Alright, fellas, today we are back in class to discuss why Sharu is so fucking ass and garbage and bad, and why it's not good at all, and why it's bad. Jumping straight into it, Sharu has no bleed and no defensive presence anywhere. There's no use for it defensively, it doesn't do bleed, and because of that, it is very, very low tier. Its stats don't carry it high enough to make it viable in at really anything when it comes to war PvP and like if you're playing the game like a survival game, then you're probably still going to get killed and eaten by basically everything. Um, you lose to Slizathan because of Slizathan being able to bleed the absolute fuck out of you. A good Slizathan will be able to just run up, hit you a couple times, run away, try just keep you moving and keep the bleed on you, and then you will inevitably die. So Sharu has zero defensive presence and zero bleed. So maybe you are thinking, it might do good damage. It might have a decent offensive presence. No, you are wrong. It's garbage. It doesn't. It's bad. It's just really fucking garbage. It's got a worse offensive presence than fucking Primordial Kraskaraptor and regular Kraskaraptor and Slizathan. There's no reason in a war scenario to use Sharu over these three things. Krask, Primal Krask, and Slizathan all can bleed a majority of the roster for some reason. Kraskaraptor can bleed Dab, but okay. I don't know why that is a thing, but it can. So there's no reason to use Sharu over Krask, given that Krask can bleed Dab. That means that if you are good enough, you can 1v1 Dabs with Krask because of the bleed. And Sharu can't do that. Sharu can't even 1v1 Krask. Sharu gets his ass beat by fucking Juro. So there's no reason to use Sharu over Krask or any other of the low tiers that are already not very good, other than their bleed. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's a semi-aquatic. It's more versatile than Kraskaraptor and Slizathan and Pharaohhound and all the other low tiers that are pretty meh. Fuck you! You're wrong! You're stupid and wrong! Buru Kodak is just better in like every way conceivable other than not being able to go super far onto land. And Buru Kodak is already worse than fucking Suchalar. So no, you are wrong. It is still bad. Its versatility is bad because it can't do anything. The only thing it can do is like swim around and die. That's like it. And yeah, you can't even like justify using Sharu in a war situation by saying, "Oh, I'm using it to place a nest," because Buro is better. Buro's literally just better in like every way. You get caught off trying to place a nest as Buro, you can defend yourself a little bit. You'd be better with Suchalar, but you are faster than Suchalar, so you can escape. With Sharu, you're hit a few times by a Suchalar, and then you physically cannot swim away because of when you're low on health, you can't sprint anymore, and for some reason that's just a thing, which is epic. So yeah, you get hit a few times, you die, you fail to place nest. Haha, you lost an elder for your team. You lost Sharu. Sharu bad. Fuck Sharu. Well, how do you fix this garbage piece of shit, you ask? The answer is you give it Eminem's hit song Venom and you make it do some sort of stamina or speed depletion. Now, stamina depletion's cringe, so I think that Sharu should be able to apply Venom and it have some sort of speed decrease by maybe 20%. That way it is noticeable, but it is not absolutely ass to play around. That way, Sharu would then be a viable support creature for wars, like the lower tiers currently are right now for applying bleed. However, it would be applying its own unique debuff that would just make you slower. That's that's how you fix this garbage, but I don't think that will ever happen, unfortunately. But the the fix is to give it venom. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming to this episode of Pedagondia Faunas School. I hope this was informative, even though Sharu is very bad.